Hi folks, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be opening up and having a look at the new Fender Extender from Pyramid. This particular one is for the new BMW R1300GS. This retails on their website for £21.99. There was a few weeks backlog for delivery, but it arrived well packaged. Very good communication from them, plenty of updated emails as to when it would be arriving. So it's arrived safe and sound. So the first thing I notice on the packaging is there's no reference to the particular make and model of bike. There is just a part number there. If you go on their website though and you double check the website for the listing for that particular bike, the numbers match. So anyway, without further ado, let's open it up and see what we've got inside the package. Okay, so here we have it. Here is the Fender Extender from Pyramid. So, it's a lovely looking piece of plastic. Nicely shaped and moulded. The reference, the part number is actually embossed on the inside of it, and there's a Pyramid logo along the side. That looks like it's actually a transfer. Yeah, that looks like that's just transfer, so if you wanted you could remove that if you just wanted to be plain black with no reference to the maker. Anyway, looks like a well made piece of plastic. So what else have we got? We have another package here. Okay, we've got the fitting instructions here. We've got a little flyer for their merchandise, their shop products. Here's the fitting instructions. I believe there's two different methods of fitting this one. Yep, that's right. This is a stick fit method. So they have a stick fit method where you can just use these. Presumably this is what's in here. Just get everything else out. That's the rivets, and here's all the sticky. So this is the stick on method. So there's two different methods if you want to fit this. You can either use the sticky method and put it on, which means that you won't be actually putting any physical holes in your existing front fender. Probably a good option if you wanted to change to maybe another type or another make and model. They're giving you here within the instructions, wipe it down with alcohol, which is typical. You've got a wipe there as well, making sure that the surfaces are all clean. Put the sticky tabs on and then apply that on. Hold it in place with some grips, and you need to leave it for 12 hours. So that's to basically be done overnight. So you can't just get that in the morning and go out, fit it and go out for a run. You'll need to leave it for 12 hours. The other optional method of attaching is a push rivet, they're calling it, which is these little items here, little push rivets. You pop them in, drill the hole, push them in, pop them through, and they'll expand to hold it into place. Again, clean it down. They're actually saying to put on some sticky adhesives on that as well as the push rivets. So there's a combination of fitting options there. So this is basically push fit with the sticky back adhesion stickers. There's a 4mm hole needs to be drilled in the fender and through the Fender Extender. So you basically have to offer that up, tape it into place, and then in 4 locations. But I don't think there's any template provided. So you'll just have to mark it out yourself and find the 4 suitable hole locations. So without further ado, we'll go out and we'll have a look at this sitting on the bike, and then I need to decide, am I going to go for the adhesion fit or am I going to go for the adhesion and the rivet fit. Hi folks, so welcome back. So out in the garage here, I've just stuck the extender fender on with masking tape, just to get a look and see how it looks on the mudguard and make the final decisions on which method of attachment to go for, whether it be the sticky adhesion pads or whether it be the combination of some sticky pads and the pop rivets. The extender fender is giving you about an extra approximately about 5.5 inches or 140 millimeters additional cover. Just check it, there's no fouling either. This is now bringing the front fender extender down to below the sump guard, which hopefully that again that should stop a lot of the mud fling from going up. It's incredible the amount of mud fling that these bikes do throw up. I mean, up inside there is very dirty at the moment. It's only been out in kind of sort of light dirty conditions. Imagine if you were to take this out in extremely dirty conditions, then the side of there is going to get in one hell of a mess. So it'll be interesting to compare the two. You can see at the moment what the results have been with the standard fender on. So the extender fender on, I'll give this a clean and then have a run with that one, and then we'll be able to do a comparison before and after and see if it makes much of a difference. Other kind of thoughts is it doesn't quite extend as far as the original mudguard does. It would have been nice to maybe have seen it tapering the here a little bit more, following the line of the tyre a little bit further down. It could be still an opportunity for some mud fling to come out from there, but if you look at it from the front side, actually, if you probably can't see it on the camera very well, but if you look through there you can see that it does cover the side of it does overlap the tyre. Same on that side as well, it does overlap the tyre to a point. It does start to taper back in again as it gets towards the bottom, so you're probably getting, I would say, the best part of another you're getting about 4 inches, 100 millimeters, maybe a little bit more. You maybe getting 120 millimeters of coverage before it starts to taper back in again. So the mud fling is going to come here, so it should in essence stop the mud fling from going further up into the bike, which is what the original one is not doing. Anyway, bear with me, we'll make a final decision on how we're going to attach this to the bike. Hi folks, just a bit of an update on the progress. I've now got my front fender removed from the bike and I've cleaned it. In order to help me to try and make sure that we get this aligned completely straight, I basically drew a centre line through, put some masking tape on, and I drew a centre line through the original fender and the fender extender. So once I get this attached here, I'll be able to double check it with the ruler just to make sure that it's completely straight. I'm going to go with the adhesive sticky on method at the moment in order to prepare it for that as per the instructions, which are actually quite clear that are given with it, but I've also had to look at the instructions online again, they're the same ones, a little bit easier to actually follow online if you've got a larger screen that you can scroll through and look at them. But what they're asking you to do here is to etch up the two surfaces that the sticky adhesion is going to adhere to. So you're going to etch the surface of your existing front fender, the touch points and the fender extender. So I've done that with a bit of sandpaper. What I did was, so I didn't, in order not to put to over sandpaper it, I put that on and I just drew a line there, so I've just sandpapered up to the line. You don't need to do it towards the edges because you don't actually fit the sticky adhesive stickers close to the edge. You have to keep them back slightly from the edge. So next stage, we're going to wipe it down with an alcohol wipe that's been provided. There's quite a bit of reference actually in here to be careful with the alcohol wipe because it can stain or damage the plastic. So it's important, by the sounds of it, that you keep the alcohol wipe on the two surfaces that you're going to join and keep it away from any other surfaces that are not going to be joined. Okay folks, so this is just taking a little bit longer than I I was expecting. I've went for the sticky adhesion method, so I've got them on. I etched the surface first, then cleaned it with alcohol, then put the sticky tape on, which I'll post some photographs in between on the video. The part that takes the longest time to do on this job is actually to get the alignment correct, so that you've got it straight. I used the masking tape with a pencil line through it. That was pretty accurate, but when I took it out and put it on the bike, it was just slightly off centre of the tyre. So I just was able to move the pads just ever so slightly before the clamps went into place, enough just to square it back up to get it as close to centre as possible. Did that before I put the run of silicone sealant that I've put on here, which is a waterproof silicone sealant that I've added here. I think that will be necessary to stop any grime, water, etc. from running through there and then running back at the other end. They don't actually provide any detail or information on what you should do for that. The pads themselves will not protect that entirely because the spacing in between the pads, so it's probably a very good idea to run a line of silicone or sealant on the inside. You could even do it on the other side if you wanted, although aesthetically it wouldn't look as good on the other side, but the other side looks good anyway. The final fit on it is very neat. So the gaps, and there's no gaps, it's nice and tight, so it does match in very, very well. The fact that when you actually put the adhesion pads on, they give it that extra few millimetres of space, and they call it in their detailed instructions there as basically the gasket, so that then brings up the tolerance differences, which then ultimately gives you a very good flush fit once it's all in situ. So there you have it. So the next thing is to let this cure, get it back on the bike, give the bike a bit of a clean, put it back to where it should be again, and then get out and get it dirty again and see if this actually makes a difference. Hi folks, just a bit of an update. Cleaned the bike before I went out for a run. Now I've been out for a run on it with the Fender Extender. You can definitely see there vast improvement. There's still a little bit of mud fling on this area, at the bottom of the belly pan and at the bottom side of the engine. But certainly early indications are that it's a vast improvement over the original. So there you have it, the Pyramid Fender Extender fitted and tried on the GS 1300.